Speaking of guys who are on the outs with their squad, there's news about Kemba Walker in New York, folks. Some bad news. If you can remember, before the season, things were abuzz. Kemba's coming back to the Garden. They show every single angle of Kemba getting busy when he was at UConn winning a national championship in the Garden. They're like, Kemba, he's going to come back. This is amazing. He's finally healthy. Tibbs, Kemba. He's got 1 million point guards. He can't even burn Kemba's knees into the ground. And they're like, yeah, we have a playmaker, we have a scorer, somebody in the final minutes of the game we can go to when the going gets tough. It's not just Derrick Rose and Julius Randle. We got Kemba. Knicks fans were over the moon. I was over the moon. And maybe we all should have contacted a Celtics fan or two and got their thoughts on the matter, because they were over the moon when Kemba was gone. Over the moon, like they are happy about Dennis Schroeder over Kemba Walker, and that's troubling. They have an accurate picture of what Kemba was like on the Celtics, regardless of what his stats say. Kemba was not very good, and so out of the blocks, surprise, surprise, Kemba was not very good in New York. Opening night at the Garden, Knicks beat the Celtics in OT, but Kemba played 35 minutes, had 10 points. Casper the Friendly Ghost, nowhere to be found. And that, sir, was not an anomaly. He's now averaging 12, 3, and 3. He's been a negative plus-minus in 11 of the last 12 games. And I tell you what, boy, you know who doesn't like that? Tom Thibodeau doesn't like that. He hates that. You know what Tom Thibodeau is? Tom Thibodeau is heartless. He's ruthless. And he's remorseless. And that is exactly what he came out and said today, because the new news is Kemba is no longer in the rotation. And it's not because he's not healthy, because that's what I thought it was upon first glance. Kemba's missing some time. He's out of the rotation, nursing that knee. No, Kemba Walker is fully healthy and fully trash right now. He is fully healthy, fully trash, and fully out of the roster rotation. He's not living up to Tom's standards. This is what the New York Post reported. The Knicks are making a drastic change at point guard. Head coach Tom Thibodeau announced Monday that Alec Burks, who I slandered when he got extended, who has been balling, will become the starter after a 23-point performance in his first start of the season in Saturday's win in Atlanta. Bronx product Kemba Walker. You see how they did him? Bronx product. Don't do that. Bronx product Kemba Walker will be out of the rotation. Don't do that. Will be out of the rotation entirely, beginning with Tuesday's game against the Nets in Brooklyn. Quote, "It's a tough decision to make, but you always have to do what you think is best for the team. I've got great respect for who Kemba is as a person, number one, and all that he's accomplished in this league, but I do what I think is best for the team." If that's not him saying, yo, he's washed, I don't know what is. Out of the rotation, it's not even out of the starting lineup, folks. He's not even going to be seen on nationally televised games anymore because he's so far at the end of the bench, the camera won't even see him. He's worse than Frank Ntilikina. Frank Ntilikina came in to guard Trae Young at the end of a playoff game. That's not happening with Kemba Walker, because Kemba Walker is a fucking sieve on defense. He's terrible on defense. Why would they do this? Well, it might have to do with the fact that the Knicks have an 116.3 defensive rating. That's not good. And a net 13.3 minus negative 13.3 net rating when Kemba Walker is on the court. New York has a plus 5.2 net rating with not Kemba Walker on the court. So, yeah. Kemba Walker is now called DMP Walker. That's where we're going. He's not even going to get garbage time minutes. Bronx native, Kemba Walker, they did him. Don't do him like that. Kemba Walker, the Kemba Walker experience, it lasted just all in 19 games. All that excitement. And now we've got 60 games of DMPs on our hands. Over 60 games. That is sad. So sad. Kemba Walker was an all-pro. Kemba Walker was Supermax Kemba. Kemba Walker was a bucket. He had probably one of the best step-back jumpers I've ever seen. One of the most explosive step-backs. does a number on those knees, though, that step back. I tell you what. And, this is the hard truth, is like, the NBA is a business. Kemba Walker, nice story. Cute little story. Comes back to the Garden, Bronx native. Kemba Walker comes back to his hometown to play basketball. But I tell you what, you know who doesn't give a fuck about a cute little story? Tom Thibodeau doesn't care, because Tom Thibodeau is not playing games with Kemba Walker. Tom Thibodeau wants to win, but most importantly, Tom Thibodeau never wants to coach in another place for the rest of his career. He is tired of getting sullied and buried and his name slandered in the press for being a terrible coach when Kemba Walker is terrible. Like, that cute little story, that is going to lose him his fucking job if he is not heartless. Leon Rose, Worldwide West, they're not playing around. They're like, we want wins in New York. You overperformed last year. What have you done for me lately? Nice little cute story. Get him out of here, or you get out of here. That's the hard truth there. They only care about winning. James Dolan, he gets a little taste of success. He wants that taste in his mouth some more. Not a cute little story like Kemba Walker. No. And the truth is this, Kemba Walker is a shadow of his former self. I hate saying that. I've been saying it for years, and then he has like a little flash performance of 27 points and like 8 rebounds and maybe 6 assists, and you're like, damn, Kemba's back. No, he's not. He is not back. He is not performing well enough to get playing time. He is not performing well enough to not be getting DNPs. That's harsh truth. And maybe this will change. Maybe this little DNP will be a stretch of 15 games, and Kemba Walker will look inside himself and he'll get new knees. Like, I don't know. Maybe all of a sudden he'll have a new menisci. But as of now, he is a long, long way away from being an impact player. He is not even a role player anymore. He is not even a role player. Let's watch the situation going forward. This is a developing situation. Yeah, he's got a role, boy. It's called sitting on the 14th man on the bench status. But the NBA, like me, is cold and ruthless and speaks facts, even in the face of a cute little story who used to be an all-star. That's all the time that we have for the Heat Check. We'll be back late Wednesday evening at a special time to recap the most anticipated game of the year, the Warriors versus the Suns. I have no idea what to even do. I've already bought popcorn. Yes, I have. Swear to fucking God, I bought a box of popcorn and nutritional yeast and some fucking hot sauce just for this game. And there's a special episode with that fucking popcorn while it's in the microwave. Get ready. Suns Warriors twice this fucking week. Let's go. Do not forget to follow us on social at @ThisHeatCheck and at Trysta Krick on TikTok. That's all the time that we have for today. We'll see you Wednesday.